This team got me to Legend last season, so today we're gonna showcase it on this new season of Hidden Gems. Charizard up in front, at the back Grident with Trevenant, and this back line is extremely safe. Trevenant might have seen a nerf on Seed Bomb, but still it's super meta relevant and much better than before, I believe, because most trainers are not gonna be expecting a Trevenant from you. So Charizard up in front, a high rank 1 will definitely help you out, and my own is definitely a rank 1, so yeah, extra points on that. In order to work, this team has to rotate around Grid and you have to aggressively switch into it so that you can absolutely draw out something like an Obstagoon or a Scrafty that your Trevenant is afraid of. Try to do as much damage as possible, then finish off with a Charizard, and of course Trevenant will be on the best way possible in order to sweep the entire team of your opponents. So right here we're having a Jellicent on the swap, which is pretty crazy for us. We can definitely resist anything while we can still over farm and go for that extra mile and the complete farm down. However, as it seems, the Surf will take us out, but Grident can still hold on to that 1 HP. We have a double crunch, but I believe that after this double kick we're gonna go down, so only 1 crunch for cheap damage on the Cobalion, but now we have the upper hand. I decide to block this Night Slash because I'm having so much energy to spare here, and I'm pretty close to that double blast burn. 1 for the shield, 1 for the knockout, and of course now 1 Shadow Ball will definitely seal the deal up against this Cobalion. What I want to do is to pressure for another blast burn, but of course they're gonna reach there to the second sword first. Pretty nice energy management by my opponent, but still we have the upper hand because Trevenant is gonna be an amazing option overall, and those pseudo fighters or even the fighters like Cobalion are just gonna go down to my Pokemon. So Charizard now against Lantern, horrible lead scenario. This is the worst that you can get for your Charizard, because not only you take super effective damage, but also they resist pretty much the big moves, which is pretty bad. So Grident can come in pretty clutch here against these Florges, and I believe that Disarming Voice can easily be predicted here, because that was way too early to be anything else. Just gonna let it go through, and as it seems those body slams are still gonna add up in damage over time. Another Disarming Voice, we can easily take it. This Pokemon is extremely bulky and I like it a lot. If you do not have a Grident, feel free to rotate around your Snorlax or something else that is gonna be a normal type Pokemon but pretty thick. Just remember the pretty thick, you need that for your switch, because look at how easy it is to manipulate any battle with your normal type Pokemon. Even a fighter will be in deep trouble if they do not throw their energy. So another Body Slam here to finish off the Florges. Look at that, and we also have 1 shield while they have none. Amazing catch on the Lantern, but of course we don't care at all because down we go, and right now we have the upper hand with the Trevenant. So Trevenant, even though the Seed Bomb was nerfed, it is still gonna perform pretty positively against those water types, so I don't think that Trevenant will see a lot of backlash on Ultra League, because it is mainly relying on the Shadow Balls, and of course the Seed Bombs are still gonna be clutch up against any opponent. Able to finish them off, and I'm just gonna predict here the Seed Bomb because why not? So Shadow Ball is just gonna do tremendous amount of damage, and I have already seen that I have won. That's why I'm not charging up my charge attack, and that's gonna be an amazing victory for us. Another bad lead, this time against an Ampharos, and to be honest I do not like my odds here, so I'm just gonna back out. Any electric lead will be pretty bad for us. On the switch we are met up with another hard counter, this time the fighter up against our normal type Pokemon. However, we're gonna go down to that matchup, but still we can do a lot of work with our Charizard here. All I want to do is to rely on my Trevenant for the end game. Seeing those two, perhaps they have something like a Swampert at the back or a Walrein. Let's see together, because the Ampharos is returning into the battle with a brutal swing, not even the Thunder Punch, which is pretty neat for us. Now we can easily reach to the Blast Burn, and I will switch out right after to my Trevenant. Of course those brutal swings are gonna be pretty deadly for us, especially after a Shadow Ampharos, and now they have the triplet with the Shadow Ampharos, Shadow Machamp and Shadow Snorlax, which is pretty bad for us. So So this is not looking that promising. We can still stay in, trying to see how much damage those seed bombs are gonna do, but of course this is gonna be just a CMP, which is just gonna be even more problematic for our Trevenant. We are definitely triggered here for that matchup with that normal type Pokemon, and we have nothing else to do, so I'm just gonna back out. So yeah, well played to my opponent. They definitely walled me down. Into the next one now, we're having Swampert upon the lead. Another bad lead for our Charizard. Doesn't matter, we have to rotate around Grident, and let's see how well we can do against most neutral threats. Of course, the worst thing that you can see with your Grident is gonna be the Virizion or even the Cobalion, but with that in mind, I think that you can definitely take it out with the other two Pokemon right after, and you're gonna be on a very good spot most of the times on the ending part, because Grident is still gonna be a clutch Pokemon overall, able to pressure so much here against this Mach, and we also took a shield, which is pretty crazy. Just gonna try and predict that this is gonna be an acid spray, but instead they have the Dark Pulse, which is pretty bad for me, and now I have to rely all of my hopes into Trevenant. But first, we can easily farm down here with our Charizard. Even with the Sludge Wave, we do not care at all, expecting the Swampert to return, and now we have to rely on those Seed Bombs to finish them off. At the back, there is gonna be the Charizard of their own. The battle is not over yet. We have two shields, they have one, but definitely have the typing advantage. They are also blocking my Shadow Ball. How can we possibly win these trainers? This is not looking that good for us, because now they can reach two back-to-back moves with those Dragon Claws. Down goes both of our shields. All we have to do is to finish them off with the Shadow Ball, but still the Swampert can come in pretty clutch up against our Pokemon. Able to catch the move on the Charizard. It is gonna be the Hydro Cannon. Can we outspeed? Yes, we can. On the CMP, Trevenant with a big boom against that Swampert, and let's get that sweet victory. That was a very close battle that I think my opponent should have won no matter what. Anyway, Stunfisk in the next one, and I managed to catch one Rock Slide. So let me share a trick with you, because I know that no Stunfisk will get up against your Charizard with the 5 Mud Shots and the Rock Slide. They will always overfarm, but of course they will try to throw before the CMP, before that Blast Burn. That's why I was able to catch one Rock Slide on my Grident effectively, because I was expecting them to go after that 5th Mud Shot. They went for the 6th, and of course before the 7th, so I knew that they would stay on the 6th and throw that Rock Slide. So this means that I can easily catch on the Grident. I hope that explanation worked for you, and now let's see what we have here, because we just took out the Drapion, and this is looking magnificent for us, since now we have the better alignment against their team, and once again Grident was the key element for that. Able to reach to the Blast Burn against the Gliscor, and of course this is gonna connect for big damage, but still this is Ultra League after all, and everything is much bulkier than Great League. We're just gonna try to catch one more move, this time on the Trevenant. Let's go, trainers, and Trevenant will still go to town with those Shadow Balls. Of course we need first to finish them off with this, but these Rock Slides are still adding a bit damage. Able to go for that extra mile and the overfarm just to confuse them, but I think that the trainers are pretty skillful here, and you might see that I do not have an Elo yet, but I have it from the previous video. This is just my first set towards the Elo gain thing, but yeah, anyways, able to reach now to the Dragon Claw to finish off the Gliscor, and I think this is looking pretty solid for us, because now all we have to do is to reach the double Blast Burn, one for the shield, one for the knockout, and I don't think they can reach to the double Rock Slide before we do to the double Blast Burn. So yeah, there goes that. So a Charizard from a leader into a closer, and now let's move forward into the next one against the Registeel. So you might be wondering, okay Ganeto, you have a good lead finally, what is happening here? Well, it is not a good lead, because still they can tank one Blast Burn with this, while we need only one Zap Cannon to get fainted. So I'm just gonna try to catch one move on my Grident, and let's see if that is gonna happen, because we definitely can do it. We have so much energy also on our Charizard, and as it seems, whenever my opponents hit me with a Zap Cannon, I always get the debuff, which is pretty sad, I guess, but still now they're gonna stay in, charging up to another nuke before switching out to that Clefable, able to reach now to those body slams. They cannot catch a crunch, but still with a debuff we're not looking that great over here. I'm expecting the Meteor Mash, to be honest, but instead we get hit by a Moonblast, and now we can spam 2 more body slams before going down. Of course I'm seeing that my switch timer is also up, and I want to have my Blast Burn over that Clefable, expecting that Registeel to return. Of course at the back there is gonna be the Jellicent, so no Registeel yet, and we can still go ahead and pressure for that next Blast Burn, 2 Blast Burns on the Jellicent for big damage right on the CMP, and I believe here that we have kinda the upper hand. Shadow Ball most probably gonna go for the undercharge, I'm not sure though. Able to reach now to the Dragon Claw, are they gonna expect it? Yes they are, pretty nice call by my opponent, and now Trevenant can definitely go in having a positive battle against this Registeel. All we have to do is to reach to the double Shadow Ball, 1 for the shield, 1 for the knockout. However, their switch timer is still coming up, so shall we overfarm here? Let's see together, trainers. Because a Zap Cannon is imminent, we're just gonna keep pressuring here for that Shadow Ball, and now they're able to catch on the Jellicent. I'm gonna do just a nice to finish them off before they do anything weird, and now all I have to do is to block the next move, and the next Shadow Ball will be more than enough to finish them off at this point, even with the debuffs. I think that Trevenant is absolutely an amazing Pokemon. You have to try it out, even after the nerf on the Seed Bomb, because on Ultra League it doesn't rely at all on the Seed Bomb, but instead on the Shadow Ball. Into the final one, trainers, and we're having Talonflame up on the lead. This is not looking that well, because the simple Brave Bird can still finish us off. However, the Blast Burn can connect for big damage on their Pokemon. I'm just gonna block just in case this is a Brave Bird, and guess what? It is. So down we are on the shields. At the back they have a Shiftry. Are they gonna take this move? Oh my goodness, that was amazing. They burned down to ashes. So they managed to pass through and incinerate, so poor timing from my part, and now I can go in with my Grident. I know that if this is gonna be just a Brave Bird, we can easily survive it, while a Flame Charge can also be taken, so no big deal for me not to block here. So I'm just gonna let my Grident go down, and of course I can rely on my Trevenant now to completely farm down, because they're down on shields, and I believe that Trevenant can absolutely go to town. At the back there is gonna be the Obstagoon, so Seed Bomb here is still gonna be pretty clutch up against their Pokemon. So they had a Fire type up in front, Double Dark at the back, pretty solid strategy if you ask me, but still Charizard is gonna be a tremendous Pokemon for them. And despite the fact that they have Double Dark, my Ghost type Pokemon here is still gonna do a lot of work up against them. And after I get hit here by a Night Slash, I'm just gonna switch out to the Charizard, because I know I can easily go ahead, shield this move, and finish them off with style with that final Blast Burn. So that is gonna be all for today, trainers. Just be sure to leave a huge like before you go, and of course consider subscribing to the channel as this Talonflame goes down to my Dragonclaw. With your support we can even grow our community even more if you want to join as a member and support me and my videos even more throughout this action. Thank you for watching once again, and now I have 2 videos for you to check out, so feel free to do so, and I will see you all into the next one.